Hey everybody, this is what we will call episode 3 of the Bishop Group Coaching Library. We want to try to bring some value for the people out there that want to get into real estate, looking for a way to get into real estate, and my topic today is going to be prospecting. How do you prospect? What's the best time to prospect? What's the best method to prospect? And for those people out there, because I come across a lot of agents, as a matter of fact, I just met one today who said, well, online leads don't work, and Zillow leads don't work, and anytime I get a lead online, they're just not ready, and they don't call back, and it's very non-committal. So I get that, and here's the main reason why that is happening to these people. And if you're a real estate agent and you're watching this and you've ever heard yourself saying something like that, like, oh, online leads are crappy, or oh, Zillow leads are worthless, or oh, whatever the case may be, a lead is a lead. If you have an individual that has logged on to a website or has registered on Zillow or any other platform for that matter, that is a good prospect. The problem is you're not following up correctly. So I'm going to give you a couple of pointers to help you convert these leads and help you prospect. The first thing you have to be able to do is contact the lead quickly. The studies show that if you contact the lead within 5 minutes or less of it actually being generated, you have an exponentially better chance of actually turning that person into a client. Okay, the way the internet is, probably all the people out there are online looking at houses before they ever get in contact with you. So if you're not reaching out to them quickly, if they register and you don't call them within 3 minutes or less, guess what? They're going to somebody else. They're going down the list. Their attention is on something else. They don't really want to call from you anymore. They want to call instantly. You want to reach that person while they're still on your webpage. And what we've seen, the average person that's looking at a house and looking at pictures of a house and is maybe interested in a home is looking for no more than maybe 2 or 3 minutes. So if you contact them within that time, there's a good chance you'll catch them while they're still looking at the house, which is the best time to get a hold of them. So that's the first thing is contact them quickly. The second that it comes in, you got to contact them. And I know it's tough. If you're just starting out, then that means when the call comes in, dinner time, you're eating with the kids, or you're right in the middle of that movie that you've seen a couple times already, but you enjoy it. You got to stop what you're doing. You got to pick up that phone. You got to call them. Until you get to a point where you can hire somebody to do that for you and hold them accountable to it, you have got to get to these leads within minutes, or else they're not going to work for you in most cases. The second thing is the follow-up, because even if you call them quickly, even if you call them within the first 3 to 5 minutes, only 1 out of 20 is actually ready to go right then and there. You won't even get to that 1 out of 20 if you don't call them in 3 to 5 minutes. But if you do call all your leads within 3 to 5 minutes, 1 out of 20 is going to be like, yeah, I want to buy a house right now. How do I get it done? Where do I go to? How do I get it pre-approved, etc. The second part of that is after that first initial call or that first initial contact, usually it takes the client anywhere from 8 to 13, 14 follow-up calls before that person is ready to buy or ready to do business with you. So that's the other part of it is agents give up on the lead. They call them 2 or 3 times and they give up. They don't call them back. They say, oh, this person's a tire kicker, oh, this person's not ready, or this person's not serious, whatever the case may be. And so people are giving up on the lead too quick. Call them and call them and call them and call them and call them. If they tell you, hey, I'm not ready, I'm just browsing, that's okay. Let me get some information from you so I know the right properties to send you. That's the third part of it is, and it's going to help you convert, is you have to engage these people, okay? So you need a good website, you need a good CRM that's going to actually send that prospect properties, information. It's going to help you communicate with them. You want a CRM, which stands for Customer Relation Management Tool, that is going to send the client detailed and accurate information that's going to help you communicate with that client, email, text, phone calls, okay? And that's also going to set you up on reminders. So look, boom, there's a reminder. I got to call this guy. He's been in my system 2 weeks. I've called him a few times. He hasn't really wanted to get together. He's just browsing. Let me call him again and ask him about the properties I've been sending him. Let me call him again and ask him what he's got going on right now. Let me call him again and figure out where he's at. And so if you do those 3 basics, call them quickly, call them at least 8 to 12 times, and engage them with a quality tool to engage them, you're way ahead of the game. And the biggest part, we've talked about this in previous episodes, is to practice your conversations. Practice what you're going to say to these folks. Practice over and over again. If you don't have somebody to practice with your kids, practice with your friends, practice with yourself in the mirror. I mean, you have got to try to improve the conversations that you're having with these people. I mean, there's no reason for you not to practice. I mean, if you're practicing on the prospect when they come in, well, there's no surprise that you're having less than quality results. And so practice what you're going to say is pretty basic. And if you get a hold of a lead that comes in instantly, there's a reason why they logged onto that website. There's a reason why they registered on Zillow or Trulia or whatever the case may have been. And we've got to get to that reason. So you got to get to these people's why, and you need to practice these conversations to figure out how to do that. We're gonna show you guys some live phone calls as a part of this conversation. So I'm gonna pick up the phone and actually make a couple of calls to try to help you guys with your follow-up efforts. Okay, so the first one here, got my phone ready, and I'll give you a little bit of a rundown on who these people are and why I'm calling them. Okay, so the first person that I'm calling is a person on my to-do list, a follow-up phone call. Okay, this is, let's see here. Okay, let's see. Okay, this is Derek Jackson. Okay, actually, look, I just called him, so let's find another person to call here. All right.
You have reached the voicemail box of...
If you get a voicemail and the first ring, call it back immediately, because they're probably on the other line.
You have reached the voicemail.
Try it a third time.
You have reached the voice...
So his phone is off. Hey KZ, Carl Bishop here with Remax. Wanted to give you a quick call and check in on you. It's been a while since we spoke. I've got some great homes that I think you may be interested in. Give me a call at your convenience. You can reach me at 210-778-0789. Carl Bishop Remax, 210-778-0789. Let's talk about getting you into this house, okay? Hope you're having a great week, bud. Take care. So then you update the CRM, left a voice message, give yourself another to-do reminder to call them again. Remember, it takes 8 to 12 phone calls. And I think that's probably another problem with most people is they don't have the patience to get in there and keep making these phone calls. They give up on them. Oh, I called this guy 3 or 4 times. He never called back. I guess he's busy, or I guess he went with somebody else. You can't give up on people like that. You have got to call them nonstop and not give up on them. Okay, so this particular client, her name's Wendy Jones. I spoke to her back in early June. She was going to get some credit repair done. Okay, so I'm going to call her now and make sure that she's working on her credit and taking my advice so I can help her buy a home here in a few months. Hey Wendy, Carl Bishop with REMAX. Just wanted to call and check in on you. Make sure that you were able to get those things done that we talked about so we could get your credit score up and get you into a home here pretty soon. Give me a call back when you get a second so we can go over an update. And I'm looking forward to speaking with you and helping you get that first house. Wendy, hope you're having a great week. Talk to you soon. You can reach me back at 210-778-0789. Thanks, Wendy. All right. So, Wendy is unavailable. One of the most important things right now is 5:01. Okay, so the best time to call somebody to prospect is between the hours of 4 and 6, okay? The second best time is between the hours of 9 and 11. Some people have done some research there and say it's actually 8 to 10 or 8 to 10:30 or 8:30 to 10:30 or 8 to 11. But during that morning time and during that afternoon time, right when people get out of work, but before they go into dinner, between the hours of around 5 and 7, 4:30 and 6:37, are the best hours to contact people. So if you're making all your phone calls in the middle of the day and you don't know why nobody picks up their phone, well, it's because they're at work or they're busy doing other things. So you've got to make those during the hours of 8:30 and 11. You should be making phone calls. Okay, during the hours of 4:30 and 7, you should be making phone calls. For those 6 hours in between, that's when you work on your contracts, that's when you do work on your website, you do your social media, you follow up, you educate yourself, you do all the other things during that time. But during those peak times, that's when you want to be making those phone calls. So think about that when you're out there putting your schedule together and deciding where your time's going to be. Okay? Let me see here. Okay, so let me get another lead here to contact. Okay, we got Alex Elenis. Let's call Alex here. Hello, Stephanie. Hey, this is Carl Bishop with REMAX. How are you today? This is Carl Bishop with REMAX. I'm sorry, Stephanie? You're good right now? Well, yeah, I just want to update our notes because you came in through our site and I just want to make sure that we get you the right information. Do you have 60 seconds to talk to me? Okay, I noticed that you were looking for a home here in San Antonio. Are you still in the market for something? Okay, you mentioned that you've got some credit issues. What have you done to has anybody given you some advice to improve your credit score? Okay, it's good company. Okay, that's good company to work with. Have you do you have any credit cards? Do you have any secured or unsecured credit cards? Okay, that's one of the best things you can do to improve your credit and start establishing some good credit. Is just when do you get paid next, Stephanie? Okay. Well, does your husband get paid once a month or once every 2 weeks? Okay. So when he gets his next paycheck, you guys want to go to Capital One and get a secured credit card. You're basically going to give Capital One $300 to $500 of your money, and they're going to loan it back to you. Okay. I know it sounds crazy, but what happens is they give you a credit card, and when you need to spend money, when you need to put gas in your car, go get groceries, go to the movies, or whatever it is y'all do, you want to use that card, and then when your husband gets paid again, pay it down to a $5 or $10 balance. Okay? If you do that every 2 weeks, your credit score is going to jump 10, 20, 30 points every 2 weeks. I've seen people's credit scores jump 100 points sometimes. And you know, nothing against Lexington Law, but a lot of times these companies, they just take your money and they don't, you know, they can send out some letters for you and dispute some things and get some things taken off. But what you probably need is more good credit, and that really helps you more than getting a lot of that stuff removed. Sometimes that can even lower your credit score. So I would recommend doing that right away. That's going to help you a lot. Okay? Okay, fantastic. Also, one other trick that can really help boost your score is if you know somebody, maybe a parent, maybe a friend, maybe a family member that has a credit card that'd be willing to put you guys on as a registered user, as an authorized user. They don't have to give you a card, but if they just put you on as an authorized user, your credit score can jump a lot. Okay? So think about somebody you know that maybe could add you to their card as an authorized user, and that could make your credit score jump. And that way we can get you into a better loan, and all you really need is a 580 to a 600, maybe even a 620 if you can really get it up. And we can get you into a brand new home for no money out of pocket. Literally get you into a house with no down payment at all. Okay, Stephanie, well, I'll call in and check up on you from time to time, and if I can help with anything, you give me a call. Okay? Thanks, Stephanie. Bye. So you help people, you know. Find ways to help people. A lot of people have crappy credit, let's be honest. You know, this is kind of a consumer type of nation. But if you can help people build their credit, and most of the time it's not even about, a lot of people think, oh, I need a credit repair company, and oh, I need to improve my credit score and get all this stuff contested and write all these letters. No, a lot of times it's just building more good credit. And so with these few people that I'm talking to now, I mean, that's another part of prospecting. A lot of agents get these leads and the people have bad credit and they say, oh, this person is no good, and they give up on them. Don't give up on these people. Help them build their credit. They're going to appreciate you more. They're going to commit to you. They're going to be a lot more loyal if you call them every month, every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, and coach them and help them build up better credit so they can get into a home. It's a dream for a lot of these folks to get into a house of their very own. And it's a shame that a lot of agents, you know, they tell, oh, I have bad credit, or oh, they send them to the lender and the lender denies them, and the agent just gives up on them. That's a shame. Don't do that. Help these people, and eventually they'll come back around and they'll be a great client and a closing and an advocate for you at some point. Okay? So we'll make some more calls tomorrow. For now, we're going to shut her down. But use some of these methods, some of these strategies to help you close more deals. Take care.